Ooh, yeah, Kool-Aid jammer, cookie pack on camera, yeah. She wanna twerk on my chain, getting that brain sweaty and like, I fuck a knock off a bonnet, I had to get it, I want it, honest, yeah. Private jet, Nike tag, she up next. When you a boss, don't take a loss, count up a chain. So plate, never late, go on dates. When you get up, they hate, diamonds they drip like a lake.
I've gotten a lot of requests over the years, so I wanted to take some time and come out with a video that would be showing you guys my technique for how to blow O's. And with that being said, I just had to hydrate a little more. Let's head on into the studio and get this tutorial started. I know we've all probably seen it thousands and thousands of times, but before diving into this tutorial, I just want to show you guys once what O's are. How to blow O's. How do we do it? Where do we start? When trying to learn how to blow O's, it's gonna be best to use some form of mod or tank or sub-ohm device, just something that's producing more vapor than your salt mic devices. Something like this. Yes, you can do an O with it, but realistically speaking, it's not gonna be the best to sit here and practice over and over again like using one of these vapes. Now that we got that out the way, let's dive in and show you guys what you actually have to do to blow O's. The first area I wanna cover is what you need to do with your face to actually make the shape of an O. This is the face you have to make. The one thing that's gonna help you guys out so much is to do this in front of a mirror or in front of your phone camera. This is gonna help you out so much, making those slight adjustments to your face, just playing around and practicing and figuring out what O face is best for you. So how do we make an O face? The first thing you're gonna wanna do is try and just make your mouth in the shape of an O. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. Some people show their teeth a little bit. The main thing to understand before even trying to blow O's is that you are trying to match the shape of your mouth with the power of your cough to create resonance. And that will equate to an actual O coming out of your mouth. You have to understand that every single person has a different mouth. Every single person has a different lip structure. This tutorial isn't necessarily just here to give you one technique, one proper way of doing it. It's meant to give you methods of how to practice and find out what your own best way is. Just to reiterate, what you want to do with your O face is to make your mouth in the shape of an oval, take your lips, curl them inward, and make sure your top lip is pressed up against your teeth. So now we know how to do our O face. We have everything, right? Oh! Oh! Alright, maybe not, maybe we don't have everything down yet. There is one more part that's very, very important for learning how to blow O's, and that's how to actually cough them out. Blowing O's is something that you're always going to be changing and adjusting. Depending on what you're trying to accomplish, you're gonna do something different. In layman's terms, this is a light, abrupt cough. One of the main things you'll notice when doing it is that your diaphragm and core tighten up when you make that cough. To me, this doesn't give you the best idea of how you're actually supposed to do it. So here are my two ways I like to describe how to do an O cough. So I don't know if you guys are that familiar with a bass pedal on a drum kit, but I like to think of blowing O's like that. So in terms of the abruptness of the cough, you want it to be like that bass pedal kicking against the drum. When it hits the drum to make the sound, it's not sitting there and holding against it. It's a quick bounce and then it retracts. It's the same thing with your cough. So when you cough, it's not it's so you're not letting it stay for very long, and the second you tell your brain to cough, you also want to be telling your brain to stop. So not it's I've explained this in so many different ways throughout my time of blowing O's, but the best way I think to describe it is phonetically speaking. So you want to think of the letters A-H, not O, not oo, it's A-H. Simple as that. So when you make your cough, you don't say, oh, it's just ah, ah, just to show you guys. When you don't cough abruptly and you try and make all these different noises that sound like an O, it doesn't work as well as when you do this. That's why I'm trying to emphasize that you have to play around with it. You have to try different techniques because you don't know what's gonna work best for you. What I do may not work the best for you. What someone else's tutorial is may not work the best for you. That's why it's best to try and gather all the information and practice everything. See what works best and never be afraid to change what you're doing. The main thing when trying to pick the best O face and you're starting to get your O's to come out is try and figure out which one shoots the farthest, which one has the best rotation on the O. These are all going to become very important down the road once you start trying to do other vape tricks with the O you're blowing. One of the things you can notice when trying to blow O's, the excess smoke and the draft that you're creating could get in the way of the next O that you're trying to blow. So a couple tips to help you with that are these. Either turn your head or move your body in some general direction to take you out of the same spot that you blew the previous O. If I try and blow another O in that exact same path, there's going to be some form of draft that gets in the way. Whereas just a little bit of a head movement can do so much. If you're struggling to move your head, you could also just walk in one direction. And then one more tip I want to give you guys so your draft or your excess vapor won't get in the way is involving when you take your hit. So I didn't really touch on this topic too much because everyone has their personal preference, but when I blow my O's, I like to do a very, very slight inhale and take a lung hit, which in return, before I start blowing my O's, I have to exhale a little bit of the smoke I have piled up. So that cloud that you blow out before you start doing your O's is actually very important. It could make or break the spam or the O that you're trying to blow. When you exhale that excess, push it out over your right shoulder or your left shoulder. Just basically get it out of your field of view. If you sit here and go like this, and try and blow O's, you're blowing into a draft already. So the best way to avoid it, no matter what trick you're trying to do, is to just blow it away from you. So I just want to reiterate the main points of what you want to be doing to get your O's down point. When you're practicing, try and use a phone or a mirror or something that will allow you to see the face that you're making. It gives you the best ability to look at what you're doing, to analyze your mistakes and learn from them. The next biggest thing is regarding your O face. Make sure that your lips are curling in and mess around with the way that they curl in. Mess around with the tightness that you feel of your actual lips. And when it comes to the type of oval to make, play around with how much of your teeth you're actually covering. And in terms of actually making the cough to blow the O, that AH sound, in cough form. And as well, to try and be like that bass drum pedal I was talking about before, where when you cough, you don't want to be holding that cough for very long and want it to be as instant and quick and abrupt as possible. And when you put it all together, you end up with this. So that wraps it up for my basic tutorial on just how to blow O's. If you guys enjoyed this video, want to see some more tutorials, or have any feedback you want to give me, please let me know in the comments below. And as well, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel because we're going to have a lot more tutorials coming. Vape tricking tutorials, editing tutorials, cinematic videos, and probably so much more. I'm super stoked to have you guys on board. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and stay tuned for the next one.